Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Mahavakah Kodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, sincere sisters that's listening in silence, as the scriptures say to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah from the Servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much in this lesson, it's going to be titled as Seek the Lord. Okay, you need to seek the Lord. And the only way to seek the Lord is through his prophets. Okay? So you want to seek the Lord, man, while you still can. And Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. Just a quick hit. Isaiah 55 in verse 6. So like Isaiah 55 in verse 6. And it says, Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let not the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. So you're going to seek the Lord. Seek the Lord while he may be found. How are you going to do that? The prophets. Okay, the prophets, the men of the Lord. Okay, the Lord set up men to follow. So you want to follow those men. You want to learn from those men. Okay, because the Lord set up those men to follow. And the only way for you to seek the Lord is through the prophets. Okay? It's Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Who is thy Creator in the days of your youth? That's talking about the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Yahushai. So you want to seek the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You want to remember your Creator in the days of your youth. While the evil days draw not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So you want to be remembering your Creator, who is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You want to be seeking the prophets, seeking those men, getting this truth. Because there's a thing called famine of the word that's going to take place. And if you don't get this truth for now, you're going to be an assed out individual. You know? So you want to seek the Lord. Seek the Lord while you still can. Okay? And I got another precept. This is Luke chapter 1 and verse 70. Luke chapter 1 and verse 70. And it says, As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets. You see that? So the only way for you to seek the Lord is through the prophets. You know, you reading the Bible like a novel, that's not going to be, you're not going to be able to seek the Lord that way. You know, you got individuals believe that they don't need to follow any camps, and they don't need to learn the truth from nobody. They can just read the scriptures on their own and then have their own way of interpretation. They believe that that's the Spirit of the Lord. The Lord gave them the Spirit to read the scriptures like a novel, and then they come up with their own interpretation of the Bible. No. There's a particular order set up. There's an order set up. You have to fall in line. The Lord already has prophets set up. You have to fall in line and learn from those men. Okay? Luke 1 and 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, it says, which have been since the world began. So the Lord always had prophets set up. He always had prophets set up. The Lord always spoke through his men. Okay? So you have to learn from men. Yes, we have to follow men. Because you got individuals, they have that doctrine in their head where they can just They literally believe they can read the scriptures for themselves and have their own interpretation. But when you read 2 Peter 1:20, it says there's no private interpretation of the scriptures. So you want to seek the Lord and get this truth, which are the prophets. You're going to receive the understanding through the Spirit. Matthew 10:20, for it is not ye that speak. See, so it's not the elders, the apostles, the bishops. It's not any of them that's speaking. Okay, it says, for it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. See, so it's not me that's speaking, or the elders and the apostles, or any brother that you see doing these videos and doing these lessons. It's not them that's speaking. It's the Lord putting the Spirit on them to bring out this truth. Mainly the elders, though. The elders and the apostles are Great Millstone. The Lord is dealing with those men on a high level. So those men that are bringing out the truth are elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. The Lord is speaking through those men. So the Lord is dealing with his men. So this is why you want to follow men. This is why you want to learn from men. Yes, you have to learn from men. Even Gamaliel, he was one of the highest ranking elders of the Pharisees. And you had Apostle Paul, he learned from men. So yes, we got to follow men. And I'm going to get out that Numbers, because Numbers is a perfect example, right? It mentions about the Salakia. It mentions about the 70 elders that the Lord put the Spirit on. And this is how we know that you have to follow camps, because camps have been around since the ancient world. But I'm not telling you to follow any camp, because not all the Israelite groups are the same. But I highly recommend you to follow one camp, which is Great Millstone. But camps, they've been around since the ancient world. You have a lot of these Israelite groups. I mean, not Israelite groups, but Israelite individuals. The no camp doctrine Israelites. They'll try to say camps is a cult, camps is this. You don't need to follow camps. You don't need to do this. Wait a minute. Camps been around since the ancient world, and we're going to prove it. Numbers 11:16, and the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel. So the Lord told Moses to gather unto him 70 men. All right, 70 men of the elders of Israel, right? And he said, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. Verse 17, and I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and will put upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. Let's get to the main point. Verse 24, and Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people. So he did as what the Lord told him to do, right? It says, and set them around the tabernacle. So he took 70 of those men, and he set them around the tabernacle, as what the Lord instructed Moses to do. Verse 25, and the Lord came down in the cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him. So the Lord took the Spirit that was upon Moses, and he put the Spirit upon those 70 men, and they began to prophesy. But you also had 2 remaining individuals in that camp that didn't go to the tabernacle, right? But the Lord put the Spirit on them, and they began to teach. We're going to prove, this is proof that the Lord speaks to his men. Verse 25, and the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto them, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. So the 70 men, they received the Spirit of the Lord, and they begin to prophesy, right? But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. So remember, the Lord told Moses to bring upon him 70 elders and line them up among the tabernacle, and that's what Moses did. But there was 2 that was remaining that was in that camp. The Lord put the Spirit on them, right? But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of one was Eldad. See, that's one. And the name of the other was Medad. So you got Eldad and Medad. Those 2 men, they weren't a part of those 70 men that went to the tabernacle. Right? The Lord put the Spirit on those 70 men, but he's going to put the Spirit on them as well. It says, and the Spirit rested upon them. So the Lord put the Spirit on them. Even though they didn't go to that tabernacle, even though they weren't instructed to go to that tabernacle with those 70 men, the Lord put the Spirit on them. Right? And they were of them that were written. See? And they were of them that were written, but went not out, see, to the tabernacle. See? It says, and they prophesied in the camp. So there you go. Camp's been around since the ancient world. So you individuals that come on my comment board, or you a person that do not believe in following Hebrew Israelite camps, camp's been around since the ancient world. This is in the time of Moses. Camp's been around since the ancient world. Yahushua and the 12 apostles, they were a camp. They prophesied the gospel. They went and prophesied this truth, the word. They were a camp. Yahushua and his 12 apostles, they were a camp. Camps have been around since the ancient world. Verse 28. And Joshua, right, the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, so it was one of his young men, one of Joshua's young men, right? It says, answered and said, my Lord, Moses forbid them. See, so Joshua, he didn't want them to be teaching the word. All right? He was telling them that, they shouldn't do that. Right? And it says, and Moses said unto him, enviest thou not my sake? Would the Most High that all the Lord's people were prophets? He was saying he wished that all the Lord's people was prophets, but not all of them were prophets. The Lord only had a certain amount of men that was prophets. Not all of the men were prophets. So he was telling them, let them do what they do. If the Lord put the Spirit on them to prophesy, then they prophesy. He said, I would wish that all of our people were prophets, but not all of them were prophets. It says, and Moses said unto them, enviest thou for my sake? Would the Most High that all the Lord's people were prophets? And the Lord, it says, and that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them. See, because the Lord will put the Spirit on them to do that. It says, and Moses got him onto the camp, he and the elders of Israel. So there you go. Camp's been around since the ancient world, and the Lord spoke through those prophets. Let's get out that Jeremiah 1 and 5. This is also to prove that the Lord set up men to follow. The Lord set up men to follow. Jeremiah 1 and 4. It says, then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So there you go. The Lord always set up men to follow. See? So the Lord always set up men to follow. Let's read verse 6. So the Lord, he set up men to follow. It says, then said I, O Lord, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, this is what the Lord said unto Jeremiah, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. So there you go. The Lord set up men to follow. The Lord spoke through his men. The Lord always spoke to his men. The Lord set up men to follow. The Lord spoke through his prophets. He spoke through his men. So there you go. We have to seek the Lord while we still can, right? And then there's a prophecy. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. This is 2 Chronicles 15:13, right? Let's get that. This is 2 Chronicles 15:13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord, power of Israel. You see that? So if you don't seek the Lord, which is considered seeking out his prophets, right, while you still can, let's read again. That whosoever would not seek the Lord, power of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. So if you're an Israelite man, and you're in this truth and you don't seek the Lord, you're going to be destroyed. If you are an Israelite woman and you don't have a husband, you don't have a man, you need to seek the prophets. And if you are a woman that have a husband, you need to send your husband to the prophets. And I highly recommend you to follow Great Millstone, and they can learn this truth and they can teach you the truth. And you can, learn this truth in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. Let's get out that Proverbs. I'm wrapping up with this right here. Proverbs 30 and 30. Here you go. Because you got those that, Salakia, Proverbs 13:13. You got those that despise this truth. And if you despise this word, you despise the truth, you don't believe you need to follow any camps or any men, this is what's going to happen to you. Proverbs 13:13. Whosoever despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. So there you go. If you are an individual that's knowing this truth, or you may be an individual that believe you don't need to follow any camps, or you don't need to follow anybody, you can just literally get this truth on your own, well, you're in the wrong spirit and in the wrong state. I highly recommend you and I advise you to follow Great Millstone Hebrew Israelites, because you're gonna be able to receive this truth. You don't want to be an individual to be leaning into your own understanding and not following the men of the Lord, because in these last days, famine of the word is coming. So the Lord set up men to follow. I'm going to end there with that. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Waha Waka Kodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who will well and teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, push forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, sincere sisters that's listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahushai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And on to the next one. Lord willing, that's what's edifying. Shalom.